Welcome to Granny Shift, and I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
And this is minute 86 of the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. And this minute has my blood pumping.
Oh, yeah. They got some heavy guitar riffs.
Yeah, you
going here.
Shazammed it. And it is called
Nismo Mustang
Right.
by Brian Tyler or something.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that writes all the music for the movie.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm amazed here how fast they get the engine in this car.
Yeah.
Because...
Notice what's going in with it.
Well, yeah, I want to point this out. So the turbo is on, and they're dropping it in the engine bay. But what they realized quickly is that this is a different shape engine bay. So we got to take this turbo off
Right.
and custom fabricate an entire new manifold. Because if you see later, you see the engine bay, and the turbo is actually a lot farther front.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
We get maybe 10 seconds of, maybe less of the engine swap going in,
Right.
and then they put the windshield on, and the car's done.
Right. This is why customers think that engine replacements are so easy.
This swap, though, like you're talking about an engine replacement in a car that's supposed to have an engine in it.
Right.
They would have to do all new wiring and get all kinds of parts because you need some type of instrument cluster, engine management.
Right.
And then wiring, even to run fuel lines in to hook up to this.
Right. Because the fuel pump for the Mustang is
Probably
15 PSI.
Right.
And this engine runs on 160 PSI.
And it was probably, I'm sure it was a carbureted Mustang, so now you have all
Right.
kinds of wiring that, anyway.
Yeah. So you're replacing all the fuel lines. And also, most of these older Mustangs are four-wheel drum brakes,
Yeah.
which isn't going to work for drifting.
So you need brakes and suspension, and you really should have some steering modifications to give you a little more lock.
Well, I know maybe they weren't all four-wheel drum. Yeah, I think they were four-wheel drum. I know a lot of them weren't power steering.
Oh, man.
They were like, some of them were, but most of them were like manual
So
steering.
that'd be really hard to put power steering in, too. And a reliable power steering system. Probably their old power steering wouldn't hold up that good, even if it did have it.
Yeah.
But the car's running. And
So
yeah.
is that the same turbo? Okay, so they put that turbo in.
Yeah.
And then we see this turbo. It looks different. Is
So-
it just wrapped in something?
Yeah, they have a heat. That's a turbo blanket on the hot side. It's probably because of where it's located. It's probably really close to that, what do you call
Manifold.
it? No.
I mean, the valve cover.
The suspension strut tower.
Oh.
So that they wrap it to keep the heat from getting everywhere. But
And it looks like they wrapped the pipe, too.
yeah, so they had to fabricate a new manifold for this. And a custom strut brace.
Yeah.
And
This doesn't look regular either, like the
radiator.
rad support.
Yeah. But he's drifting it, and it's got no hood.
Right. So cool.
But they're like testing it out. I guess.
This is the...
a Willwood Brake Master.
Is that what that says? Willwood?
Yeah, Willwood is a big brake
That's
company.
aftermarket.
Yeah, they're like high-end performance.
Yeah.
Very impressive. I guess we don't know how much time went by, but I'm guessing if they went to Takahana and were like, hey, we need 3 months. He'd be
Right. Like,
no, you have a week, right?
I would feel like, all right, I think we should race. And he'd be like, okay, tomorrow at 8. Like,
Yeah.
how much time do you need to race if you're going to...
Well, I don't have a car.
Right,
Do you have any cars? You're like, okay, no.
It's in Sean's nature to wager a race with no car. Like,
right.
right? So that's just what he does.
So he's trying to drift, and it's not looking good. It's almost like when he started drifting.
I was going to see these rims look pretty nice.
Yeah, it's got some big wheels on it.
Trying to see if they're the old Mustang rims or not. I can't really tell.
But he's spinning out. I thought this was funny. He spins out, and then they show it in the shop again, and they pull the spark plugs out, and he's like, oh, that's the problem. Spark plugs. That's why it was spitting.
Not because I put the wrong engine in the car. But
Yeah, but I'm also like, I mean, I guess they could be checking the tune, but you should have all kinds of data management on this
Right.
to be like, oh, it's running rich. Or if he's like, oh, we need to replace the spark plugs. You're putting an RB26 in a Mustang. I feel like you should make sure it has brand new spark plugs when it goes in there.
Well, and this is something that, like, you would check probably. Like, you would have to check more on a carbureted car because you don't know how much fuel is being added and stuff like that.
Right.
With a PCM, you can look at data, like you said.
Yeah, it would have to have a wideband O2 that would give you fuel readings to tell you how rich you're running.
Right.
And then you tune off of that. But it looks like it's got steering or suspension issues too because it's
got a lot
barely
of-
drifting.
Yeah, a lot of body roll.
And he just keeps spinning out. And
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, back in the shop. And they're running up and they're tuning things.
Right. As soon as it spins out, they run up to it with the tool cart.
Yeah. And they're checking stuff.
Oh, we didn't even mention they're on a mountainside road.
Oh, yeah. They're in the toge.
Right.
They should have gone to that little, like, fishing parking lot.
Right. That would have been better. At least to get it, like, close. Maybe they did. Maybe this is after they went to that.
Well, this
pier.
would be really annoying to be, like, spin out on a corner up the mountain and then, like, your crew has to drive up to you or something.
Right.
Be a
Are
lot
you
easier to
only-
mess and tune with it in a parking lot.
Are you only going up to that one corner? Like, is your crew always at that corner?
Yeah.
We do see Twink with a multimeter. What do you think
Oh.
he's checking with a multimeter?
Battery
you spun out.
voltage.
Oh, here, let me check the
Maybe
power
it was
to the
a-
headlight.
Like an OBD scanner thing.
No, it was a multimeter.
Multimeter.
I don't know what he's checking with it, though.
Then we get a shot of them in the garage and it's dark out and they have a light. So you're seeing like, oh, they're working late. They're like putting a lot of effort into getting this done.
Right, but if they would just back up, they would be in all this light in the shop.
Yeah, they wouldn't have to use a handheld light. And there's 4 guys wrenching on it at once.
Yeah, what are we looking at here? I don't know even what that was. I was gonna
No,
say
they're
something with a
rotating
throttle or
something.
something, but we got spinning ratchets. Take a long.
And no talking, just this like heavy guitar riff
Yeah.
playing. And then it switches back to the scene on the toge. He's drifting, still spinning out. It's not looking good.
No, and that's it. That's the end of that minute.
Do you like this body style Mustang?
Oh yeah,
I think
this is
it's
such a
good-looking
cool
car.
idea.
Yeah.
So dumb though. Like
Yeah, cool for like a demo car, like to do events for fun,
right.
or to like show, a
Right.
show car, show drift car, but not for a competition car.
Right. It's like one of those things, even if they would leave the body completely alone, like don't fix it up, paint it, buff it, whatever to do, put the hood on, and then you pop it and there's this like clean Japanese motor underneath.
yeah.
That would be really cool, right?
Yeah.
It's like that around here or in the Tri-State Tuners group, right? Does that
Yeah.
still exist?
I don't
There's
think
like
so.
a 240 that has a 350 in it, right? Or a Corvette LS,
Okay.
whatever is in that Corvette. I don't know.
Yeah. LS engine.
Yeah. So it like pulls up and it sounds like really like a big
Yeah.
V8, but
It's like
it's
Well, it's almost like Asher's car, right? He's got that beat up rusty RX-7,
right,
and then in it's this like big 5.0.
right.
It sits
Like
there
that's
just
so
sounding
cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
because it's so unexpected.
That's the sleeper.
But you're not actually gonna go out and
That's kind of the sleeper look, though. You got this big, ugly car, and
Right.
the engine bay is just real nice.
this is almost like the opposite though. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's more like a rat rod thing.
This is like taking like this should have a big beefy motor in it, and you're putting this little
Yeah, tuner. You're
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I think this car pretty much embodies what Lucas Black stands for in this movie. He's all American
Bad
on the
decisions.
outside.
Oh.
See, all American on the outside, but Japanese on the inside.
Oh,
At
yes.
at its heart, at its core.
Japanese at heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I cannot believe that his dad had this project and never had an engine sitting somewhere.
Right.
Think how much easier that would have been to swap like the 350 into this, or
Right.
357 or whatever it's supposed to be. But you know what I mean? And then you have a powerful engine that's going to be good enough. You probably make it'd just be way easier to make power with that and then deal with the other parts of the car.
Right. The suspension and the steering and
Right.
that type of thing.
Yeah.
Poor
Yeah.
decision making.
Jinx.
Jinx. Don't
So-
forget to enter for the August giveaway
Ooh,
in the Discord.
what is it?
Go to the Discord and find out.
Oh boy.
Oh man. And have any questions?
How many
Ask them in a
minutes left?
Ask them in a 5-star review.
Oh yeah, and if you want us to go to once a week, leave that in a 5-star review
Right. Yes.
or in the Discord.
yes, either one. You can
Okay.
find us on social media at Granny Chef Pod
Everywhere.
everywhere.
You find social media.
Oh, and if you're listening, did you also know you could watch on YouTube?
Yeah, we're live on YouTube.
We're not live,
24/7.
but it's on YouTube.
It's on there 24/7, and it was live when we recorded it.
Right. Yeah. And thanks for listening. I'm Ryan,
And I'm Jason.
and don't forget.
Winning's winning.
switched it up.